Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It's originally created for Wednesday, the 28th of December. It is not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date and it makes sense, by all means utilize it. If it doesn't make sense or doesn't resonate, that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily readings. In there is just housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using, how to contact me and follow me on social media, and also easy ways to support the channel. The best ways are hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, share the video out, leave me a question or comment. All those things greatly help. Let's get into this reading and see what's going on for the day. Okay, we have the World. I'll take it. We had Justice yesterday, so we have some major arcana energy at play, both yesterday and today. So there's some big shifts coming on, big truths from yesterday's Justice card. The World is about the ending of a journey, the ending of a chapter, the assimilation of knowledge, the completion of a period of time where things may have been a certain way and now they're not. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It means that, like, we have evolved, learned, completed in a very big way. Maybe it's this year for us. Maybe it's, a situation or a relationship or, a challenge that we have finally come to terms with, or we have a truth around that we are able to now move on from, and not move on in a bad way, like leave it behind, but move on understanding that we are more complete from it, more aware from it, more whole from it, and we're ready for the next. We're ready to start to begin the next, to take the knowledge that we've learned, or the wisdom that we have, the experience that we've been through, and to start the next chapter or begin anew on some other project or some other understanding, some other awareness. This is the end of the major arcana, meaning we're at the end of a cycle. And thank God for that. Let's just say that, because 2022 has been hard for a lot of us. And so, but it's not been without its merits. Let's just say that. The World would indicate that we have come to a completion in a very successful way. Even if it's been hard for us or it's been challenging, we're not walking away empty-handed. We're walking away with victory. That's the wreath that surrounds the person in the center there. That's the wisdom and the knowledge. I also love that pink ribbon that is surrounding that person's body, meaning, in other words, maybe our heart is healed, or we've come to some sort of understanding within our heart that allows us to attain the knowledge that we need from this, situation or this experience that has allowed us to evolve out, to become more aware, more complete, more whole, more ready for the next, right? So it's kind of like the closing of one door, and not in a bad way, but just like we've come to terms with it, or we've reached an ending with it, and now it's time to start the new beginning on the next. So this is sort of, to me, a midweek turning point. Underneath the midweek energy, let me just see what the card was again. It was the Two of Wands. So there might be a choice here, or a decision, or a desire that we have come in contact with, that we're now ready to sort of take on, or begin to manifest, make the choice to move towards the commitment, and with the World here, it says to me that, we've learned, we've grown up a bit, or we've learned a little bit more about ourselves, or a situation, or what we need, or what we want, or what we desire, so that we can now choose more clearly moving forward into the rest of this week, or 2023, not 2024, let's not get ahead of ourselves, 2023, to either, I don't want to say begin again, but begin something anew, take the information that we've learned this year and assimilate it into a way that works for us, that brings us victory, that shines a light on things, that sets us up for strength and the ability to move forward with more wisdom and feeling more complete and more whole, and understanding as to maybe why we went through what we went through, or why we felt the way we felt, or there is this holding true to that, and the awareness of that. This is a major card of completion, essentially, like everything coming full circle, everything making more sense, everything coming back into balance, with us at the center of that balance, or us as the focus of that balance, and the security that brings, the importance that brings, and us maybe putting ourselves first, right, and making sure that we move forward wiser, victorious, aware, right? And so I feel like this is a really nice midweek card to have, especially with the Two of Wands underneath it, because there can be, the Two of Wands would be the opening of the new door, or the opening of the new experience, the opening of the new chapter, so to speak. And we get to write that chapter to a certain degree. We get to figure out how we experience that chapter. And I think that we're ready for that with the world here. The world says that, like, everything that we've been through, or everything that has challenged us, or everything that has taught us this year has not been in vain. We've assimilated that knowledge in a very powerful, profound way that makes us more complete and more whole. So, pat yourself on the back, so to speak, and let yourself enjoy this moment. Be the center of your universe. Take care of yourself. Put yourself first today. And acknowledge what you've been through, and the challenges that you've faced, and the learning that you've taken on, and the knowledge that you've assimilated through these experiences. Let's look at the divine abundance. Wow, it's back again. Invite help. Invite the divine to pursue you. Seriously, just say, I'm finally ready, God, pursue me. So again, we're being asked to invite in our guides, our gods, our ancestors, our ascended masters. Let them help us to take this next step, to complete this sort of, for lack of a better word, completion, to assimilate this knowledge, to understand why we've been through what we've been through. Even if it was maybe at times confusing or challenging to us, I feel like there's a clarity that comes not only with justice from yesterday, but also with this world card that brings us like full circle, and helps us to understand that we're actually smarter, stronger, more capable for having gone through it. And we can use that capability, that intelligence, or that, even if it's emotional intelligence or mental wisdom or whatever it is, use that to propel us forward into the next. And we can do so with the help of our guides, our God, our ancestors or ascended masters. Now let's look to the clarifiers. We have the Four of Pentacles. We saw him in the clarifiers this week from the Sunday reading, and I really get a feeling that he has this sense of security. Normally, excuse me, I need coffee. Normally I see him as, he's traditionally like the miser or holding on. But I get this sense of foundational security in the 3D world. We may not have everything that we want, but what we have is enough to propel us forward. And I really get this sense of stability and security from him this week. So grounding ourselves in the simple things, and I'm going to say that because this is a 4, grounding ourselves in the simple things and what we have, and being grateful for those things, and then using those assets, those 3D assets, whether it's awareness, physicality, mental intelligence, whatever it is, using it to ground ourselves, protect ourselves in a way, or inform ourselves in a way so that we can move forward with a more sure foot, if that makes sense, or a clearer understanding of what it is we need, or what it is we want to create, what it is we want to build upon. The next card, and we saw this yesterday, is the Seven of Pentacles. Again, it's a card of patience, but I like the growth from the 4 to the 7, meaning that there is an opportunity for us to take what we have that is foundationally strong within us and grow it. We have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the awareness to give the attention to situations that they deserve in a kind, patient, caring manner. and think about things in the long term, right? Is now the time to harvest, is always the question with the Seven of Pentacles. Sevens are about taking personal responsibility and sometimes facing challenges, but this challenge is somebody that's sort of, he's aware of what he needs to do. I mean, he is a farmer, he's tending to his crops. Right now may not be the perfect time to bring the crops in, but with a little patience, time, attention to detail, and care, we can grow this into something. We have the wisdom, certainly, with the world there, to grow this into something more abundant or flourishing in our 3D world, whether that be through our career, through our money, through our finances, or through our, relationships. The last card is the Nine of Cups. Now, nines are often about personal completions, which I like seeing this with the world there, because the world is like a much larger completion or better understanding of what we've been through and why. And the Nine of Cups, sorry, the camera keeps going out of focus. The Nine of Cups is understanding that we've done the emotional work and being somewhat proud of that, being somewhat complete with that, being somewhat, in our emotional truth and being aware of that. He sits there sort of smugly with his arms crossed, but I don't get a smugness. I get a sense of, we've done, to me, hopefully, we've done the internal work, especially through all of that Six of Swords energy that we've been seeing this week and last week. We've done the mind work that has sort of settled the emotions and lined us up for what it is that we want. We understand what it is that we want at an emotional level, and we're willing to put in the 3D work to get there. We also have the, all-encompassing wisdom of what the world represents to help us to work towards that, although that work may require us to be patient, to be methodical, to think about next steps, to step back and look at the bigger picture, and then to give that attention and care where it's due or where it's deserved. I hope that makes sense. That's the Seven of Pentacles in there. Now let's look at the grounding stone. And the grounding stone, okay. The only painted grounding stone in the bag is Create. And it's interesting to me because we have the Seven of Pentacles where he's growing this crop and we have these flowers all over the Create stone. What is it that we emotionally want to create in our 3D world? What is it that feels most right to us, most complete? What would bring us the most happiness? I think that's some of the joy that we need to experience today, especially through that Nine of Cups, and inviting that help from our spirit guides and from the other side to help us to create it, to help us give us inspiration and what next steps to take in the 3D to make that happen. But also being patient and giving the attention that our creations deserve, right? We don't necessarily want to rush them. We can believe that they're based in divine timing. There is a bit of divinity in the World card too. It's kind of like everything coming together and making more sense from all aspects of our being. So focusing on our creations today, our ability to create, our openness to the idea that, this too can turn into something that's beneficial, that can bring us joy or emotional happiness and well-being. Not that we need things outside of ourselves to produce that well-being. I think that this Nine of Cups says that we've produced the emotional well-being within ourselves so that we can now step forward and take, patient action in creating what it is that we want next in our life in this new chapter. I hope that makes sense, guys. That is your reading for the day. Please, please, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video out, leave me a question or a comment. I do read them all. Let me know if these readings are making sense to you. Remember, be tolerant of the process. Some of this tolerance can be about just being patient. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.